there, sweetie. You're June, right? I'm Tammy, Joe's new girlfriend. Nice to meet you. I'm sorry to message you out of the blue like this, but I found your number in Joe's phone and just had to talk to you.
Sorry. Who's this?
I just told you, silly. I'm Tammy. Oh no, don't tell me you didn't hear the news. Me and Joe go all the way back to middle school, you see. We met up for the first time in forever at our class reunion and, well, one thing led to another. And he wanted me to tell you that he loves me now, not you, and that he wants to get a divorce.
Joe, is it? I have no idea who you're talking about.
What? Oh, come on. Are you being for real right now? I'm talking about your husband. Oh, you poor thing. Are you in shock from losing your sweet husband, Joe, to his old girlfriend? It must be so painful to learn that you're an inferior woman to me in every way. And just so you know, don't get any silly ideas about winning him back either. I already announced our engagement on Instagram. Oh, and I included a picture of the two of us getting all lovey-dovey as evidence. Now the whole world knows that Joe and I are deeply in love with each other. Now the only thing that is left for you to do is to be a good little girl and give Joe the divorce he wants. And then we can finally be together forever.
Ugh, this is not what I needed today. I still don't know who this Joe is that you're talking about. Could you do me a favor and give me his last name or something?
What? What is wrong with you? You have the same last name. You're married. Okay, I'll make it easier for you. His full name is Joe. Your last name. Got it?
Look, I'm trying to tell you, I genuinely have no idea who the person you're talking about is. But it seems like you're bound and determined to make as little sense as possible. So let me go check with my husband to see if he has any idea what you're talking about. Okay, Tammy?
And I'm trying to tell you, Joe is your husband. Don't you get it? Are you like drunk or something? Or I don't know, do you have like a mental disability or something?
You know what? I don't got time for this. I'm closing this DM. Bye. Hey Harvey, I'm really sorry to bother you while you're on a business trip, but can we talk for a second?
Hey babe, it's no problem at all. We can talk. What's up?
Okay, I've got something to ask you, and it's kind of an emergency.
Uh-oh, what's going on?
Do you have an old friend from middle school named Tammy? Apparently the two of you were classmates or something?
Tammy? No, I don't recall ever having a classmate by that name. I mean, I was in middle school. All my friends were guys.
Okay, well, maybe not in your class, but was there a Tammy in your grade or maybe in a class above or below you?
Yeah, no, I don't think there was anyone with that name at my school.
And do you know someone named Joe?
Joe? That's a pretty common name. Let me think. You know, somehow, something about that name does ring a kind of a bell, but I can't be sure if it's someone I actually knew personally or just someone that I knew of.
So you might know a Joe then?
Yeah, it's really faint, but something tells me that I did know someone by that name once. But I can't put a face to the name. I'll think about it overnight. If I remember anything, I'll let you know.
Okay, thanks Harvey.
So, do you mind if I ask what brought this up? You said it was kind of an emergency.
Look, I'm sorry to drop this on you all of a sudden. It's just that this afternoon, I got these really bizarre text messages from someone that I don't know, and how you reacted to those names would determine whether or not that the rest of the conversation was going to go a certain way or not. So I thought I'd check with you before I got into this whole main issue just to be sure.
I think I'm even more confused now than I was before.
Trust me, it only gets weirder from here on out. And I think it'd be easier for you to understand if you read them yourself, so I'll send you some screenshots and send them to you later. So let me know when you had a chance to read them, okay?
Gotcha. I'll be waiting. Well, I read them, and now I'm even more confused than I was 20 minutes ago before reading them.
Right? I mean, that's kind of what I expected you to say.
Well, let me see if I got this straight. This Tammy person met up with her old boyfriend from middle school, Joe, at a class reunion and started an affair with him. And Tammy thinks that you're Joe's wife for some reason. So she spills the beans on her affair to you, then declares that she's going to marry Joe. And now she wants you, my wife, to divorce Joe, who you're not married to, so Tammy, his mistress, can marry him.
I say that sums it up pretty well, but I still have no idea what's going on.
I feel like I'm having an aneurysm just trying to comprehend this.
I think the most likely story is that she simply has the wrong phone number. But since I don't know anyone named Tammy, and neither do you, I don't really know what I should do about all of this.
Hey, wait a second. Didn't she say that she got your number from Joe's phone, whoever that is?
Yeah, you're right.
That's the case. Then that would mean that Joe had your name and phone number on his phone, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right about that too. But the thing is, I don't know anyone named Joe. I mean, if I could at least get his last name, then maybe I can get one step closer to solving this bizarre mystery, you know?
Tammy said that you have the same last name. Is that anything for you to go on?
Well, I never did end up giving her my actual last name. I was kind of torn, if I gave her my last name, then I might be able to put an end to her confusion right then and there, but at the same time, I felt like it would be best for me not to give her my information so she knows who I am.
That was good thinking. I'd say, who knows what she would have done if she got your full name? Well, it's like you say, there's really nothing for us to go on at this point. My last meeting over here is in the morning, so I'll be coming home tomorrow. If you feel unsafe staying in the house by yourself tonight, why don't you head over to my parents' place? I'll call my mom to let her know you're coming if you want.
I think I would probably be able to sleep easier if someone else was here with me. Thanks for taking the time to talk with me, Harvey. I know you're really busy over there.
Hey, it's no trouble at all. I'm here for you. Let me know if anything new happens, okay? Good night, June. I love you.
Good night, Harvey. I love you too.
June, I remembered.
Oh, good morning, Harvey. What did you remember? Oh, is it about the conversation from last night?
I know who Joe is.
What? Really?
I was talking with my colleague who came along on the trip with me. I brought up your mysterious texter without giving any specific details. And that's when I realized who Joe was.
Okay, who is it?
We're leaving the hotel right now. I just got into my car and I'll be on my way home soon. It'll be easier to explain in person than by text, so I'll tell you everything once I get home.
Okay, I'll be waiting. Ooh, I'm so excited. Okay, be careful on your way home.
Hey there, June. Are you still playing hardball on giving Joe a divorce? Come on, grow up. Seriously, set the poor man free.
Oh, it's Tammy, isn't it? How are you doing today?
Cut the small talk. Are you going to get a divorce or not?
Okay then, let's get right to the main point. First off, whose husband are you talking about exactly? I mean, if we don't get that settled, then we won't be able to have much of a conversation at all.
What? Oh my God. Are you still pretending you don't know who Joe is, your own husband? I am sick and tired of wasting my time. I want to marry my sweetheart Joe, so hurry up and divorce him. You miserable cow.
I'm not a cow, but hear me out. Just a moment. I've been doing a lot of thinking these last few days, and I think I realized a couple of things.
What are you going on about?
I'm not the June you're looking for.
Huh?
When you went through Joe's phone, you must have stopped at the first June you saw on his contact list, right? The June whose husband you slept with, who was probably right after me on that list.
Wait, what?
Yeah, in fact, I'm pretty sure I know who this Joe is now. And our last names are usually right next to each other alphabetically. So if you would have scrolled down just a little bit further, you might have noticed that there were multiple entries under just June, but I guess you just stopped short because you were just so anxious, you know.
I don't believe this. Wait, then what's your relationship with my Joe? I mean, your name was in his contact list, so it's not like you're a total stranger or anything. Who are you exactly?
I used to work with Joe.
Really?
Yeah. And Joe and I worked at the same company up until 4 years ago. We used to work together pretty frequently, so we both had each other's contacts on our phones. But Joe was never one to care much about new technology, so I bet he's still using the same phone he had back then, which would explain why my name and number were still on it.
Then why didn't you say anything about that the other day?
Trust me, I had a very good reason for that. Because, you see, back when we were working together, Joe always used his business name while he was at the office.
A business name? What is that?
It's like a pen name. Authors don't always write under their real names for various reasons, and Joe did the same thing in his business life. I only ever knew him by his business name, and that's why I wasn't sure who you were talking about. A friend of mine is still working at that company, and when I happened to bring up your text about Joe, she brought up his business name, and that's when I figured it all out.
Oh, I see.
Yes, it does. So I hope that you can see now that texting me and demanding that I divorce Joe isn't going to get you anywhere, so I'd appreciate it if you would stop texting me starting.
Okay, wow, oopsie. Okay, so I guess now I need to go find his real wife's phone number then. Ugh, these last few days were such a huge waste of time, and our wedding is this weekend.
This weekend?
Yep. And I rented out the restaurant that my uncle owns for the reception. It's going to be so great. I'm having a $20,000 wedding at my uncle's restaurant. And that's why I announced it at our engagement on Instagram. I invited all my followers, so I bet at least 100 people are going to come. Maybe more. I don't know. So I've got to hurry up and find this real wife so I can get them to divorce by Saturday pronto.
You really are something else.
Okay, well, I don't need you for anything anymore, and you can go now. I've got to find Jill's real wife, and really, really fast. Bye-bye. Hey, June, do you think you can contact Joe for me?
Huh? I thought you said you didn't need anything from me anymore. I'm not the June that you're looking for, remember? We already discussed this.
Forget about all that. That's not what's important right now. I just need you to contact Joe as soon as possible.
Oh, I'm gonna regret asking this. Okay, what happened?
Today's the day of our wedding, but Joe still hasn't showed up. And none of his family or friends have arrived either. No one from his side of the wedding is here. I've been texting him and calling him all day, but he's not responding. I mean, what's going on? What should I do? Can you help me?
Oh boy, if I were you, I wouldn't plan on him coming anytime soon, to be honest.
Huh?
I actually heard about all of this from a third party, and apparently you got Joe drunk at the class reunion and then spent a night with him, right? And then you used a picture that you took together with him to blackmail him into continuing your relationship, and finally you tried to push him to marry you. Isn't that right?
That's not true! Okay, so maybe that's how our relationship got started, but that, as it may be, is a fact that we shared our love for each other time and time again after that. And it's gone on long enough that I'm positive that he does love me. For real!
Wow, that is an interesting theory. And if it was true, then why is he not there at the wedding waiting for you down the aisle?
Ugh, I'll bet his evil succubus of a wife has him tied up in their basement or something.
Wow, I'm actually starting to feel really sorry for you.
What do you mean?
The only means you have of getting someone to be with you is not to lie, trick, or threaten them.
Oh, how dare you!
Look, I'm only telling you this because Joe himself gave me explicit permission to tell you that in the event you ever tried to contact him again, he's no longer in this country.
What?
He found out that you had posted the picture you had taken of him for blackmail on Instagram. And after that, he immediately told his wife everything about how you got him drunk, took advantage of him, blackmailed him, and now how you were trying to force him to marry you. His wife could see from the way he was talking about it that he was truly terrified and was acting out of his own volition. She thought it would be the best thing for him if he were to step away from everything for a while, take some time to work on their mental health, and he resigned from his company. His wife knew a therapist who specialized in that sort of trauma who works at a clinic overseas, and they've already left the country together to go and get so much needed help from what you've caused.
What are you saying? Joe and I are getting married today! There's no way that can be true! I love him, and he loves me! And we're in love, madly in love! And we're gonna be together forever, and he can't leave me behind like this!
Honestly, I say that you're madly, desperately in need of some mental help right now, too.
Shut up! None of this concerns you, you miserable cow!
Yeah, I know. That's what I've been trying to tell you ever since you first started texting me that unfateful day. And I have nothing to do with any of this.
But why isn't Joe answering me?
Simple. He got a new phone specifically to prevent you from ever being able to contact him again.
No, he can't do that! I won't let him hide from me! Tell me his new phone number right now!
I don't know his new number, and I wouldn't tell you even if I did. So for the last time, I am done dealing with your utter mess of a crazy life. Never contact me again.
This can't be happening. Today was supposed to be the happiest day of my life! Where are you, Joe? Give me back my Joe!
She started spamming me with texts demanding that I give Joe back to her, which continued despite explaining multiple times that I don't have Joe. So I blocked her. I heard about everything that happened after that from my husband, who also works at the same company. The day after the wedding, that never happened, Tammy stormed into the company's headquarters screaming, "Give me back my Joe!" at the top of her lungs. And unfortunately for her, he had already resigned. So her visit was completely pointless. The company called the police and her temper tantrum was put down. Oh, and I'm sure you haven't forgotten about the $20,000 price tag on the restaurant for her wedding that she was bragging about. It may have been her uncle's restaurant, but $20,000 is the sort of money that he couldn't simply overlook, even though it was his niece. So she's now working in the kitchen every day of the week until she's fully paid off her bill. And it's going to take a long, long time. Also, Joe and his wife are making preparations to sue Tammy for, well, just about everything that you could sue someone for. I mean, blackmail, defamation, sexual assault, you name it. So as bad as Tammy may think she has it right now, it's only going to go worse from here. Hey, Haley, you've been avoiding me up until now, but you're definitely gonna come to the mom's lunch today. It's Saturday, so you can't use work as an excuse for not going. It gets better, though. I decided to have it at your house. Won't that be convenient for you? We'll be there at noon sharp. Right now, it looks like 10 people are coming. You can choose whether you want to make the lunch yourself or order out. It doesn't matter to me. Just make sure you get enough. Oh, and you know what? Actually, I'm in the mood for sushi. There's an amazing sushi place that just opened downtown. Why don't you order from them? Haley, what's going on? Why aren't you at home? Oh, is he? Good afternoon. Don't good afternoon me. You had better not be pretending to be out of your house right now. Okay, so I just took a look at the messages you sent me earlier this morning. I'm sorry to tell you like this, but our family is away on vacation today. What? We won't be back until tomorrow. What's the matter with you? You should have told me that way sooner. There are 10 hungry mothers waiting at your front door right now, expecting to eat expensive sushi at your lunch party. We left the house at 9 a.m. this morning, and we've been on the road until just now. I didn't even look at my phone until a few moments ago. Come on. Izzy,
You can't just invite yourself and 10 other people to someone else's house for lunch, much less 3 hours before you plan to come.
What's the big deal? It's Saturday.
Yeah, that's why we're going on a little trip as a family today. And for the record, I do sometimes have to go into the office on Saturdays too. I've been telling you for a long time, Izzy. You need to give me plenty of advance notice if you want to make any plans involving me.
Yeah, but even when I ask you in advance, you always say no.
I work on weekends, Izzy. Of course I'm going to say no to a weekday lunch invitation. People who work regular office jobs can't just hop out of an extended lunch whenever they feel like it.
You could take time off.
It's not that easy. Sorry, Izzy, but we just got our food from the drive-thru, so we're going to get back on the road now. I gotta go.
Hey, we're not finished here.
I'm sorry, Izzy, but we'll have to talk about this later.
Unbelievable. Do you have any idea how much money you cost me?
Good evening, Izzy. I'm sorry, what did you mean? How did I cost you money?
The lunch last Saturday. I told all the other moms that we were all invited to your house to eat sushi from the expensive new restaurant. But you completely blew me off and went on vacation with your family. So I got stuck taking them all out to have lunch at that restaurant instead. I had to pay for 10 lunches.
Izzy, I think you're missing one very important detail.
What detail?
You are the one who invited everyone to my house without even talking to me about it in advance. I don't recall ever saying yes to that plan. I didn't even see your message until you were already there. And you're the one who wanted to eat sushi and expected me to pay for it. I think most people would take the complete lack of response as a pretty certain sign that the other person had not gotten the message, don't you?
Oh my God, you are so selfish, Haley.
Selfish? Me?
You really don't get it, do you? Listen, babe, I'm what you call the boss around here. I'm the leader of the Moms Club. So all the moms in my circle are my underlings. They do what I say when I say.
What? You're the boss of the Moms Club?
Yeah, what of it?
I don't recall ever joining any club. And second of all, I don't recall ever agreeing to make you my boss. Was there an election or something that I missed?
Shut up! I don't need an election to know I'm the boss. It's just the facts. I'm the leader of all the moms in the neighborhood, like it or not.
Is that so?
Yes, that's so. Got it? The next lunch is going to be at your house for real this time. Next Saturday. Be ready.
Sorry, I can't do that day.
Excuse me? You told me to give you an advance notice, right? Well, I just did, so make it work.
My company's new employees are undergoing a series of training sessions, and I had plans to go and check in on how they're doing on Saturday.
Are you kidding? Did you really think I'd buy that excuse? Those training sessions are for important people to deal with. You know, executives, managers, people who matter. What's some loser part-timer like you going to do there? You're just going to be standing around in the back of the room watching everyone else do the real work? You'd only be getting in the way. What are you thinking? I'm not a part-timer. Wait, really? Okay, my bad. You're just a temp staffer then.
Wrong again.
Stop changing the subject. This Saturday, you're gonna host the mom's lunch at your house. And this time, you are gonna buy us all of the sushi we can eat. Do I make myself clear?
I just told you, I have work and I can't do it.
Oh, and just so you can't get out of your responsibility this time, I'll go ahead and order the sushi for you. You can pay me back later, and yes, you will pay me back every last cent.
Okay, well don't forget that I already told you no.
Hey there, Haley. We're having an absolutely lovely sushi lunch at your house right now. Although I have to admit, it's kind of weird that you're not attending a party at your own house.
Huh? Wait a second. What do you mean you're having a lunch at my house? Are you actually in my house right now? How? I locked the doors when I left.
Nope, we were able to get inside with no problem at all. It was so nice of you to leave someone here at the house to serve us. Who is this old lady? Your mom? Or your mother-in-law? Or just some woman you hired for us? Anyway, this was super nice of you to do. But just because you gave us a servant doesn't mean you're gonna get out of paying the $5,500 bill. What the? $5,500? I ordered enough for 20 people. You know, so I could have some leftovers for later. I have the old lady here pay for now, but you can pay her back when you get home. Don't keep her waiting, though. I doubt she has that much in her bank account.
What in the world are you talking about? My husband took my son to the mall to play today, and I've been at work since this morning. So none of us are home, and the house should be empty.
Yeah, I figured as much. And that's why you left this old lady here, right? Your mom or mother-in-law or whatever.
I did no such thing, Izzy. My mother and my husband's mother. Both of them passed away before we got married.
What? Wait. Huh?
What are you not getting, Izzy? My entire family is out of the house right now. No one is home. So there shouldn't be any old woman, much less my dead mother or mother-in-law at the house right now.
Hold on. So you're saying that woman who went and hid in the back room when we all came into the house, is that... Oh my God, your mom's a ghost.
Oh my God, don't be ridiculous. There is no such thing as ghosts. That woman who's in the house with you, you said you made her pay for the sushi, right? Ghosts don't have money. I mean, they're not even real. Ugh, what are you, a third grader?
Oh, yeah, that does make sense. Wait, so this was a prank? You're awful! You know I'm terrified of ghosts. I can't even watch horror movies. I get so panicked I can't sleep. How could you pull such a cruel prank on me?
I wouldn't go to so much trouble to pull some elaborate prank like this on you. But that's beside the point right now. If you're really in my house eating sushi like you say, and some woman let you into my house, then that means someone was trespassing in my house. This is very, very bad. I gotta call the police.
Yes, I'm 100% sure that we're in your house. Ugh, you're terrible. If you keep going from prank to prank like this, I'm gonna have a heart attack.
How many times do I have to tell you I'm not pulling any pranks on you?
You've got some nerve treating me like this on the day I'm celebrating my husband getting a new job.
What? Your husband's new job?
Yeah, isn't it great? He got scouted by some big shot marketing agency. So this week's mom's lunch is also a party for him.
Wait, is your husband there with you right now?
Well, duh, it's his party. Of course he's here.
I see. And does your husband's name happen to be Stan?
Yeah, but why does that matter?
Okay, well then.
What?
Tell your husband he's fired.
Fired? What is up with you? He's fired. How can you fire him? He doesn't even work for you.
Actually, he does work for me.
Huh?
That big shot marketing agency you mentioned earlier, I'm the CEO.
What?
I told you that I couldn't host a lunch today because my company's new employees were undergoing a training session, didn't I? Your husband is one of the new hires who should be in that training session right about now. But he's never taken any of the training seriously at all. He's been blowing them off, taking long bathroom breaks, using his phone mid-session. And right now, he's absent without leave. I've been trying to contact him since this morning, but he won't answer his phone. Unbelievable. He was having a party to celebrate his new job.
Wait, you're not making any sense.
My husband was scouted by this company. Why should he have to attend some dumb training session? If he was scouted, doesn't that mean the company really wanted him to join? Trainings are for beginners. Sorry to break it to you, Izzy, but your husband wasn't scouted.
What?
I don't know what sort of story he's been telling you, but he got hired on as a part-timer, just like all the people at the training session today.
No, he's a part-timer?
He worked hard and proved himself. We have a system where part-timer employees can become full-time regular employees, but he's got to go through the process like everyone else.
I'm going to talk to my husband. You wait right there. You were telling the truth. He quit his job at his last company because he could never get along with anyone else there. but he was too embarrassed to admit that he got hired into your company as just a part-timer. So he told me that he got scouted because of his impressive resume.
Yeah, that's what happened. And like I just said, your husband's attitude at work was so painfully awful that I don't think he was ever going to make it as a part-timer. I was willing to give him more time to prove himself, but a no-call, no-show is just too much to overlook. I'm going to talk to his HR director right now and get his termination process started.
Hey, wait, could you, I've got it. How about I make you the boss instead of me? So come on, please, don't fire my husband.
You're gonna make me the boss?
Yeah, just think about it. You'll be able to boss around all the other moms now.
I would rather comb my hair with a rusty fork than do that.
What?
Oh, and one more thing, the police have been called.
The police?
I told my husband that there was an intruder in our house, so he rushed home from the mall to check on it. And when he got there, he saw our next-door neighbor desperately trying to escape from a window in her own house.
Your neighbor?
She was really panicked. She said that a bunch of women forced their way into her house and demanded that she pay for their sushi. So my husband let her borrow his phone and she called 911.
Oh no.
In your defense, our house is in a pretty new development area, so a lot of the houses do look very similar.
Oh, don't tell me. I went to your neighbor's house by mistake?
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Oh no, this is bad. Like really, really bad. What should I do now?
Given your position, I guess you have no choice but to tell the truth. You got the address wrong and barged into some poor, unsuspecting elderly woman's house with a bunch of your friends. And you made that poor elderly woman pay $5,500 for sushi that you ordered. I think that covers everything that's gone on today. Did I miss anything?
I can't believe this. This cannot be happening. Do you know how that sounds? That makes it sound like we're a bunch of mobsters.
Well, if the shoe fits.
You've got to do something, Haley.
You're an adult, and you got yourself into this mess. So you're just gonna have to get yourself out of it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to work.
Haley, don't go.
It seems that an unmarked, silent police car had arrived at the front of our neighbor's house while we were texting each other, and the Moms Club was all taken away by the police before they even knew what was happening. After the dust had settled, our neighbor got right to work getting some justice for herself. She sued Izzy and her friends for the $5,500 she was forced to pay for the sushi, as well as punitive damages for the pain and suffering she experienced that day. Frankly, I thought she should have pushed for way more in damages. A little while later, Izzy and her husband divorced. Neither of them were determined to be capable parents, so their child was taken in by a relative. As for the rest of Izzy's mommy gang, they all met similar fates, getting divorced by their husbands or disowned by their families. I'll bet all of them are going to be regretting following Izzy's lead for the rest of their lives. So it seems like now the neighborhood will finally get some relief from their malicious hijinks. Thank God. Hey Keith, I was thinking it would be best for us to get a divorce.
What, Alyssa? What's going on? You haven't been home for 2 nights and now this? What happened?
What's with that attitude? You lost your job and can't support me anymore. So I thought I'd do you the favor of staying at my parents' house to save some money for a while. And now you're acting like I'm the bad guy here? Seriously, grow up.
That again. Come on, Alyssa. You never gave me a chance to explain to you why I'm unemployed right now.
Your company went bankrupt, right? I already know all about it. That's not the problem here. The problem came after that. You were all like, my friend invited me to come work at his company. Like, for real? Well, congratulations. You used your connections to get ahead. Whoop-de-doo. Glad you're working out your privilege.
Okay, that's not fair. Just because I happen to have an in at that company doesn't mean I'm doing anything underhanded. And yeah, it all started when my last company went bankrupt, you're right. But while I was looking for a new job, my friend just so happened to be starting up his own company. He asked me to help him out, and I agreed, that's all.
How does that change the fact that you're nothing but a nepo baby?
For crying out loud, Alyssa. This sort of thing happens all the time. I'm not a nepo baby. Do you even know what that term means? I'll have you know that the reason my friend asked me to help him get his company going was because he knew what a skilled businessman I am. I didn't do anything wrong. That's not nepotism. That's meritocracy.
I'm tired of this conversation. I'm going to bed. Good night.
Alyssa, wait. Talk to me. Hey, Alyssa. You stopped by the house this afternoon, didn't you?
I've been wanting to move my stuff out the house, so I thought I'd stop by on the day that I knew you had work.
You moved your stuff out? Why?
You still don't get it. Do I really need to spell it out for you?
No, I've got no idea what this means. That thing you left on the living room table, I have absolutely no idea what it is or what it's for.
Oh my god, you're so pathetic. Can't you tell by looking at it? I don't know, maybe this is the first time you've ever seen one of these in person. But it's not like you can read plain English. What is written on the top page?
What am I supposed to be reading?
Were you always this dumb? It says, in black and white, clear as crystal, divorce agreement.
Oh.
Look, I know you were always more of a numbers guy than a books guy, but you can read, right? You're not completely illiterate, are you? Anyone with a 5th grade education should be able to read that.
So this is a divorce agreement?
Yes, that's what I've been telling you. I already signed everywhere I needed to, so hurry up and sign it, then submit it to the courthouse, got it? I don't want to have to wait one more day to marry my new boyfriend. Send me the text once you finished everything and submitted it, and do it as soon as possible.
Hi, Eugene. Sorry to bother you so early in the morning. You got a minute? Oh, hey Keith. What's up? The company you started, it has employee housing, right? Yeah, a couple of the guys I hired were single dudes from out of town, so I thought it would be good to help them out a bit. My dad owns a couple apartment buildings, so I'm renting one of them from him to use for employee housing. There any openings left? Wait, what? I mean, yeah, there are, but they're not really designed for couples. Yeah, about that. I'm not going to be in a couple for very much longer, it seems. Huh? Hold on, are you saying you're getting divorced? Yep. What the? You've barely been married for what, 2 years now? What in the world happened between you? It's kinda hard to explain. Is it about you losing your job after the last company went bankrupt? I guess that could cause some relationship strain. Well, it's not really the main cause, but you could say that it was the first domino in the chain. Did you tell her that I'm hiring you to work at my company? Maybe that would reassure her. Yeah, I did. And it actually just made matters worse. I'm very confused. Don't get me wrong, I definitely don't blame you. It's not your fault at all. She said that because you're my friend, that me getting hired into your company makes me a nepo baby. A nepo baby. As far as I'm concerned, you're the most qualified person for the job I can think of. That's why I hired you. Yeah, I know that. And I'm incredibly grateful. I'm excited about it too. This is going to be a really challenging and rewarding position for me. Okay, well, it makes me feel a lot better to hear you say that. You're going to be making a decent amount more than you were at your old job, so I don't see any reason for your wife to be anything but ecstatic. I'm sorry I had to drag you into my personal affairs. I just thought that you deserved to find out sooner rather than later. I don't know what her problem is with getting hired through connections, but she was really ticked off when I told her. And that bizarre prejudice of hers is the sole reason our relationship has turned to complete chaos these last few days. Sorry to hear about that, man. But come to find out, there's actually a much bigger issue at play. Yeah? What is it? Well, yesterday, I found out that my wife actually has a totally unrelated reason for being so ridiculous about getting hired into your company. Go on. She's seeing another guy. What? Seriously? I'm pretty sure, yeah. I'm betting she thought if she divorced me while I'm unemployed, she could get a better share of the assets during our divorce proceedings. However, you inviting me over to your company threw a wrench into her plans, since it meant that I'd be getting a new and better job a lot sooner than she had planned on. So she's just doing the whole "you're a nepo baby" act to buy time. If she can either delay me joining your company or get the plan nixed altogether, all the better for her, right? Yeah, that would make sense. I suppose the next step for you is to get a lawyer and talk about the divorce with him. Or maybe you should look into your wife's boyfriend. You could hire a private detective to look into him so you can really sock it to your wife in court. Actually, I can skip that step. I've already figured out who her boyfriend is. His name, where he lives, everything. Wow, really? That was fast. I bet that most guys in a position like mine would be pretty depressed about the situation, blame themselves and just in general have a pretty negative outlook on life. But honestly, noticing the critical clue that Alyssa left for me has actually made this pretty interesting for me. She was careless in a rush to divorce me, and now it's my turn to get back at her. Of course, I'll still get a private detective so I can get some hard evidence to use in court. Well, I'm not really sure I understand the situation, but I'm glad you're having fun, I guess. Anyway, for the time being, I should go ahead and get a room for you ready in the company apartment, right? Yeah, I'd really appreciate you taking care of that for me. Gotcha. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. If I need anything, you'll be the first person I'll call.
Keith, what is going on? What is this? I got this massive stack of papers from you in the mail today, and it says that you're suing me? Oh, you better explain yourself. And if anything, I should be the one suing you.
I'm glad to hear the papers arrived already. Thanks for letting me know you got them. They should have been laid out clearly in the documents. Didn't you read them? I'm suing you for your infidelity.
What? Excuse me? Infidelity? I was never unfaithful to you. You had better have some solid evidence to back up such an outrageous claim.
Oh, you want evidence?
Uh-huh, yeah, I knew it. You don't have nothing to prove that I did anything.
That's not it. I just thought it would be obvious from the massive stack of documents I sent you that I have more than enough evidence to convince a jury that you cheated on me.
Well then, show me the evidence! Either put up or shut up!
Okay, fine. Scroll up.
Scroll up? What do you mean?
I guess you really didn't realise it, huh? Like I said, scroll up in this chat window to the day you moved all your stuff out the house and read your messages again. Oh, what? You were the one who told me about your boyfriend.
Hold on a second. Oh, okay, so this is obviously one big, huge misunderstanding. That was a mistake. I misspoke, that's all. I was just so tired that day that I got confused. I don't actually have a boyfriend. Man, you really missed it big time, huh? I mean, you didn't even think to ask me first? I could have explained all of that to you and saved you all of this trouble. I mean, you really are so dense. But don't worry, I still plan on divorcing you, so go ahead and turn that divorce agreement into the courthouse as soon as possible, okay? Oh, and try not to get lost along the way.
Yeah. About that divorce agreement. You actually left your application for a marriage certificate by mistake.
What?
Yeah, and you filled it out completely too. Your name is on the wife line. And on the husband line is none other than your boyfriend's name. How is Mike these days?
Wait, no, that can't be! That marriage certificate is in the folder I have in my desk drawer, and I distinctly remember putting it in there.
If you're so confident, why don't you go ahead and check to see if it's in the folder right now?
It's not there! That's impossible, though! When Mike gave that to me, I thought that I should be really careful not to lose it, so I put it in that folder right away. And the folder I left at our house was the one with the divorce agreement in it.
Yeah, I had a feeling you switched the folders by accident. But seriously, this all happened 2 weeks ago, and you still hadn't noticed? Ah, I see. So you were so afraid about losing it that you missed your chance to notice it was gone before it's too late. Mike's the guy that was hitting on you about a year ago, wasn't he? You still seeing him?
No, give me back the marriage certificate application!
How about this? I'll trade you the marriage thing for your divorce agreement. But before that, we need to settle the matter of your infidelity in court. Or you could talk to my lawyer, and we can settle.
I don't have any money!
Oh, you don't need to worry about that. Your parents said they'd cover the bill for you. Isn't that nice of them? They're a great couple of people.
What?
Of course you're going to have to pay them back for it. They were very explicit about it not just being a gift, so hope you're prepared for that.
You told my parents about
everything?
I was just looking out for my own interests. Couldn't have you running away from paying me what you owe me, could I?
I'm gonna have to talk to Mike about this.
I wouldn't waste your time trying to contact him. I doubt he'll be very responsive to you.
What? Why?
I'm suing him too, and already sent him his package the other day.
Oh, wait, how do you even have his address?
Isn't it obvious? It was written on your marriage certificate application.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Coincidentally, Mike's parents are going to be paying his settlement to me just like yours are for you. They've taken away his phone and sent him to his uncle's company to work off the debt. I asked them what business his uncle was in, and they said, you're better off not knowing. They did say they were sure he'd be whipped into shape in no time, whether he likes it or not, so good news, I guess.
Oh no, I really screwed up.
Oh, you can say that again. From now on, all of our communications will take place through my lawyer. You can give the divorce agreement you mixed up with your marriage certificate application to him. We'll talk more about the terms of our divorce after my lawsuit against you for infidelity is taken care of.
Well, after thinking it over, maybe we can work things out between us,
Not happening. Goodbye.
Wait, hold on, Keith, wait! I changed my mind! I don't want to get a divorce anymore! Keith, please!
Alyssa had been desperate to leave me and marry Mike for quite some time. It seemed like she thought that divorcing me while I was unemployed would allow her to get away scot-free. But after she blew up her own plan with one of the biggest switch-ups I've ever seen, combined with learning that she would never be able to see her dear Mike ever again, she hit rock bottom. She tried confronting me at the house that we used to live in together, but unfortunately for her, I'd already moved out. I'd already moved into the employee housing for Eugene's company by that time. Knowing she would never get a chance to speak to me again either, she fell even further into a depression. She snapped out of that pretty quickly. Her parents came along to collect on her debt. She's now stuck doing office work at a nearby company during the day and doing janitorial work at the same company during the night. According to her parents, as soon as she pays off every last cent that she owes them, they're kicking her out of the house and cutting her out of their lives. They've already got a lawyer working on writing her out of their will.
Hello, Mary. Do you have a moment? Oh, hello. Should I still be calling you by your first name? I don't know if it's right for me to be calling you Mom just yet, I think you're right. It's too soon for you to be calling me Mom. I'm not your mother. Yet, anyways. Oh, sorry to put you on the spot like that. Well, let's start over then, shall we? Hello, Hillary. Thanks for coming to meet me and my parents the other day. It was great to finally meet you. Yes, that's the thing. Don't mention it. So, what can I do for you today? I have a question for you, and I would appreciate an honest answer. You and my husband work at the same company, do you not? And furthermore, you recently started working in the same department together. Is that true? Yes, that's right. Actually, I heard from Andrew a while ago that his dad was working at the same company as me. But I was totally surprised when I walked into the room where you two were waiting, and who should I see but the person who just got transferred into my branch recently? It was a total surprise. Well, I suppose our family name is somewhat of a common one, so it doesn't surprise me one bit that you wouldn't suspect that we were related when you saw that we had the same last names. But that's not the issue I'm here to discuss today. The issue is your reproachful behavior towards my husband. What? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Did I do something that offended him? Offended? Oh, that's nowhere near strong enough a word to describe your attitude towards my husband. When I left to go to the little girl's room, I saw him apologizing profusely to you, and you were lecturing him like he was a school child. I know my eyes were not deceiving me to see that horrible behavior. Oh, I'm sorry that you had to see that. Oh, how dare you behave that way toward the man who will be your future father-in-law! And not to mention, he's been with the company far longer than you have. He must be well above your rank, obviously. And in spite of all that, you were behaving like you were his superior. How shameless of you. I bit my tongue at the time out of concern for my son's feelings for you, but I cannot contain my anger any longer. If you're willing to apologize to me right now for your awful behavior, I'm willing to overlook it. But if you don't, then I withdraw my permission for you to marry my son and my blessings on a happy wedding. Are you serious? I am very serious, and I will not accept any excuses from you, Mary. Either apologize to me, or you can forget being a part of this family. Okay, just so you know, we were actually talking about something to do with work that day, and in your husband's position, really the only appropriate thing to do would be to apologize. Excuse me? Really, it was kind of a surprise for me too when he suddenly started acting like that. I told him it was okay and that he didn't need to apologize so much, but, he just kept going. And I wish I could give you more information on what really went down, but like I said, it's company internal matters, so I'm contractually not able to divulge any information to uninvolved third parties such as yourself, ma'am. Oh, don't talk to me with this legal jargon. What do you mean, internal matters? I mean exactly what I said. It's a company matter, and since you're not involved, I'm not able to discuss it with you. I get that you'd like to know more about what happened, but please understand that I cannot tell you any more than I've already have. I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. But in any case, it seems like you have no intention to apologize to me. It's like I told you, I'm not the one who has anything to apologize for. I see. So you have no remorse for treating your soon-to-be father-in-law. So be it. I will not allow you to marry my son, and the wedding is off! I don't think you're in any position to make that call, Hillary. I think this goes without saying, but the fault in the situation lies 100% with you, Mary. As such, you'll be responsible for paying for all of the venue cancellation fees. I'll be contacting our lawyer very shortly, and we'll be suing you for that and for the pain and suffering that you have caused this family. Andrew.
Hey, Mary. What's up?
This is bad. Really bad.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Your mom saw your dad apologizing to me at your house the other day.
Oh, boy.
She texted me about that just now. And she is really, really mad. Which, in all fairness, I don't really blame her, considering that she doesn't know the whole circumstances. But still, this is bad. She said that if I don't apologize to her for that she's gonna make us break off our engagement.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I had literally just made an explicit promise not to tell anyone about what happened, so it's not like I can just up and spill the beans to her.
Oh, why are my parents always doing things like this? They're inseparable to the point that I almost never see one without the other in the same room, and yet when trouble rears its ugly head, they take completely opposite approaches.
It seems like you're pretty used to this kind of thing from them, huh?
Sorry about that. I just felt the urge to vent. Anyway, for now, I'd like to see the texts Mom sent you, if you wouldn't mind. Is it okay if I head over to her place right now?
Yeah, come on over. It's fine.
Okay. I'll be there in just about an hour or so.
All right. I'll be waiting for you. Hello there, Mary. Have you prepared yourself for the impending breakup with my son? I haven't heard a thing from you ever since I gave you my ultimatum, so now I'm forced to message you like this. I grow more disappointed with you by the day. How long were you going to keep me waiting? You really are an impudent little girl, aren't you? If you're trying to wait it out and hope I forgive you, it's not going to work. I will not consent to this marriage until you've given me a proper apology. If I may be so bold, I'm marrying Andrew, not you. Why exactly do I need to have your consent? Oh, excuse me? I doubt that Andrew would want to break off our engagement because I won't apologize over a situation in which I did nothing wrong. And frankly, I'm perplexed that you would simply assume that I was in the wrong rather than talking to your husband and finding out what actually happened. That's very immature of you. I'm at a loss of words for you, Mary. To think that you would speak in such an uncivilized manner to the mother of the man you're hoping to marry. Hoping? Yes, hoping! I haven't opened up my consent for you just yet, have I? Oh, I must have missed where we established that I even needed your consent. You little... Stop interrupting me! I'm giving you the lecture that you deserve right now! Oh, right. By all means, go ahead. If a family were like a company, then the mother-in-law is like the superior and the daughter-in-law is the subordinate. And subordinates are supposed to listen to their superiors, correct? If you were to fuss and fret and whine over an order your superior at the company gave you, well, how do you think that would go? Obviously, no superior would stand for that sort of subordination. You would be punished severely, and you would be demoted. Your pay would be cut, you'd be transferred, and your professional life would be finished. Surely even someone of your intellectual capacity could understand what I just explained. Yes, I understand perfectly. So I take this to mean that if someone at a real company actually was repeatedly insubordinate to their superior, then you'd have no issues with that subordinate receiving those type of punishments you laid out, correct? Exactly. Subordinates should know their place. A subordinate who does not and openly disrespects his superior should not go unpunished. Hillary, you are so smart, and I agree with you. All right, that settles it. Looks like your husband is getting transferred. What? Technically, the final call isn't mine to make, but you should probably operate under the assumption that it's going to happen, so I think you should start preparing accordingly to this. Wait, what nonsense are you talking about? You know, I'm sure you're about to become very busy. Since you're going to be moving soon, you should probably start looking for a new house or an apartment, as soon as you get the word of where he's being transferred to. Wait, Mary, what are you talking about? What are you rambling about right now? So, sorry, I gotta go. I have some stuff to do. I need to get back to work. Hello there, Mary. It's been so long since we've seen each other. Would you like to come over and have some afternoon tea with me someday soon? Maybe tomorrow. What are you doing? A friend of mine gave me a box of the most wonderful tea the other day, and I knew I had to share it with you. Oh, and I'm also going to pick up some cake from that new pastry shop downtown. Are you free this weekend? I'd love to have you over to our house if you don't mind. I guess this is your last-ditch effort to stop the inevitable, huh? Well, don't you think you're laying it on a wee bit too thick right now, Hillary? Mary, I guess you finally heard the truth then. About my husband and your husband's position in the company. I heard everything. Come to find out, my husband is a complete useless employee who keeps getting sent around to different departments once he makes too much of a mess for them to deal with. And 3 months ago, he got sent to a new department to work under a young and upcoming leader in the company who happens to be you, Mary. He was frustrated and embarrassed that someone as young as you was placed above someone else who has been in the company as long as him. So he got desperate to prove himself and started working at a faster pace than ever before, which ended up causing a world of problems for your clients and other departments. And since you're his direct superior, you're the one who always had to clean up for his messes. Yeah, that just about covers it. So the reason he was apologizing that day when you came over to meet my parents and I was because he was so shocked to learn that his son's fiancée was none other than the boss he had been causing so much trouble for at the office, and he was desperate to keep you from finding out about what a total disaster his career has been. He was begging me not to tell you that I was his boss. And I had to stop him from getting on his knees and begging me, and that's probably why you thought that I was lecturing him. So you weren't lecturing my husband, you were just trying to get him to maintain his dignity. Oh, and by the way, I guess he was counting on Andrew taking his side and helping to convince me to help him out. He was all like, "You're a man too, son, aren't you? You must know what sort of position I'm in." But Andrew wasn't going for it at all. He just let out a huge sigh and walked out of the room. I see. So that's what happened. I've always been the type to have a pretty solid separation between my work life and my private life. And since our relationship at work would probably only serve to cause problems between us as a family, I didn't have any intentions of bossing him around outside of work. At first, anyway. Then I found out what your husband had been doing at the office ever since he found out I was marrying Andrew. He's been name-dropping me at the company and trying to get other people to give him credit for their work. Like threatening to get them fired if they didn't do as he demanded. He did. I received multiple complaints of that nature from multiple employees in my department. So I made a report of my own to my superior. And as a result, it's been decided that your husband is getting transferred to a branch in, well, the middle of nowhere. Oh no. Oh yes. And you should be grateful, honestly. Most people who screwed up as bad as your husband actually would just get fired for everything they've done. And I bet the only reason he didn't was because the CEO took pity on him. He didn't want to just kick a man your husband's age on the curb with no future employment prospects. Mary, isn't there anything you can do about this? Sorry, Hillary, but the decision is already out of my hands. What's done is done. So no, I'm afraid sucking up to me now isn't going to get you anywhere. You'll either have to move out into Nowheresville with your husband, or make him go by himself while you stay here alone in your house. This can't be happening! I suppose there is a third option. You could always divorce him, but that's about all you have in terms of options when you really think about it. I can't do that! I haven't worked in years, and I can't get divorced at my age! Okay, well, then you're just going to have to talk to your husband about this. What you do from here on out is an issue between the two of you that has nothing to do with me. Wait, I've got it! I know how we can make this all work out. Oh, really? Okay, let's hear it. I'll give you my permission to marry Andrew, and you can move in with us. And if you do that, then I'm sure that everything will work out, whether I divorce my husband or he moves away by himself. That is definitely not happening. Why not? Andrew has been pretty firm since day one that he did not want to move in with you at any point in the future. And I'm respecting my future husband's wishes. But I'm sorry, Hillary, but I really don't see the point of continuing this conversation. I'm just going to keep repeating myself at this point. Mary, please! I'm signing off now. After that, I understood Andrew's parents got into a massive fight. Hillary needed someone to finance her lifestyle, and her husband needed someone to take care of all of the housework. And since neither of them were likely to find a replacement for the other at their age, they decided not to get divorced. So the not-so-happy couple set off for their new life in Nowheresville. However, it didn't take long for her husband to screw up big time, no surprise to anybody, again, in his new post. And this time, they actually were fed up and let him go. And this was apparently too much of a strain for their relationship to handle, so they are getting a divorce this time. They've both been messaging and calling Andrew complaining about the whole situation, but he only ever gives them the same simple response every time. You're getting what you deserve. Andrew is finally fed up with them and wants to cut them out of our lives. So we're making preparations to move in secret so they won't know where to find us. I'm glad to see that he's finally free from having to deal with their nonsense after all these years. And we decided that we didn't want our marriage to resemble his parents in any way, shape, or form. So when we got married the other day, he took my last name instead.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.